Hi, it's the soppiest of the soppiest crowd here. I'm really bad at making videos in a timely manner, but you know what? I don't really care. At least I can get videos out. Welcome back to Rate the Matchup, a series I wanted to do weekly, but instead I'm doing whenever I feel like it. Yeah. So today we have another video game fight. Don't worry, the next one will not involve a video game character. But this one is actually a very interesting fight to me. It's two Capcom franchises here, and they're two godly beings, so what is it? Yeah, that's right, it's Asura versus Amaterasu. Also, by the way, I like how both their names start with an A. So, Asura versus Amaterasu is a matchup I asked Demon about, of the Demon and Archer channel, and Fictional Characters Collide's creators, Demon. So here's the connections he brought up to me. Two of Capcom's lesser known franchises based around not used much mythos, being Buddhist and Chinese, with the contrast being one is a godly being of rage and destruction versus a being of calm and creation. I do find those connections very interesting. The idea of a very rageful Asura, versus a very calm and collected Amaterasu seems like it would be very interesting both in a pre-analysis discussion in the contrast between the two and also in the fight in which you can show the contrast between the two, how Amaterasu is slower. But first, let's go into what I'd want from a pre-analysis for this both. As we all know, as some of you may know, Fictional Characters Collide already did this, and in my mind, they had a very good pre-analysis. The only thing I would say they could have improved on is just explain the powers more, explain what was going on, explain the stories. There just needed to be a bit more explanation and less jokes. I felt like it was held back a little. Not saying it was bad, I really did enjoy it. I just felt like there wasn't enough time to flesh everything out. A bit more in Asura's case, I felt like it needed just a little bit more, but other than that, it was really good. Already I've brought up the contrast between the two in the animation. How Asura could just rush up to Amaterasu, like all rageful, ready, to, I guess, in lack of a better words, kill another godly being. However, Amaterasu, maybe all of a sudden a scroll appears, and all of a sudden the painting brush, maybe a small little water tornado comes up and swashes Asura away as he realizes this is going to be a harder enemy than he had originally anticipated. So I kind of like the idea of Amaterasu kind of pushing Asura back for most of the fight. Maybe Asura throws out a few like laser beams, right? So pew, pew, right, shoots those at him. But in the end, in the second half, have Asura actually be able to just hit Amaterasu, hit her into the planet a number of times, just absolutely, for lack of better words, body her. Then throw her off the planet into the moon. But Amaterasu catches herself before hitting the moon and starts throwing those discs things around at Asura. And maybe, some fire is thrown, maybe like just some painting creation, since Okami, the game Amaterasu, sorry, the series are Asura's Wrath and Okami. This it's very painting based, and if they show that maybe she throws a bunch of rocks from the moon, maybe she levitates things, it could just seem cool to see projectiles thrown at Asura and him just dodging through at all of them. And then he's able to get in just close enough to land such a brutal hit as Amaterasu goes flying off towards the sun. Now I know, of course, Amaterasu is supposed to be the god of the sun, I believe. I hope I'm right. So basically, as she nears closer and closer to the sun, maybe she just becomes like more just ready to fight. Maybe she's understanding her place in the universe as Asura is ready to just jump off of the moon and gets ready for a wind up. And then Amaterasu realizes something. Got cut off there by something else. But basically, you know, Amaterasu gets bumped to the sun, and as Asura jumps off, Amaterasu just kind of brings her godlike powers to an extreme and just kind of floats herself off of the sun. And I like the idea of like, so here's what I like the idea of. I like the idea if Asura wins, which I'll get into this later. If Asura wins, have him just grab her before she can make any move and just doggy neck gone. That's very dark. But if Amaterasu wins, maybe you could have something a bit more unique, as Amaterasu seems like she's going to actually physically just ram into Asura all of a sudden. And as Asura is ramming up to hit Amaterasu, all of a sudden he has like this tingling sensation in his body, and it hurts as ink starts flowing out of his body. He is being destroyed from the inside out. And as this is all happening, he's losing his focus on the punch, and Amaterasu continues to come down and slices him in half. It goes to a small little black and white thing as we see Asura in like black and white as he is ripped in half, ink coming out of him instead of blood. As Amaterasu looks back at the sun just in the middle of space, she is at peace. I think Amaterasu wins. There could be arguments to be made. I know some people believe in like universal Asura's wrath, but personally I do not. I can say it easily gets up to galaxy level though, but I believe, if I remember the fictional characters Collide correctly, Amaterasu is somewhat multi-galaxy level, if not universal, and I have heard more universal arguments for Okami than I have for Asura's Wrath that just make more sense. So in the end, Amaterasu should be able to take the win against Asura. But the idea of a calm, peaceful being in the end beating out this rageful and, what's the word I used? Destructive being. It's kind of symbolic in a way. Anywho, I hope you all enjoyed. Put down in the comments any matchups you want me to rate. See y'all next time. Hey guys, one final thing. I forgot to give this like a tier list ranking. And while I do really like this matchup, just real quick, I don't think I could put it higher than like a B+. It's really good. I just feel like there needs to be a bit more. Like maybe the more I think about it, there will be more. I just feel like I just need more, you know? I love the idea, and I feel like it could grow on me, but I don't think it deserves A tier, at least not right now for me.